Well, let me tell you, if you don't want to go and read it all yourself, you can go to the website and have someone read it for you. The first two episodes have been recorded already and up on the website on the homepage. And is also a news hound, which I go through the evidence, the actual source material, bit by bit. They're about 2.5 hours long. I go through with some guys from the podcast. It is a load of fun as well. We have a load of fun while we do it. This series is massively important to understand, and it'll take you on an adventure. Okay, it'll start off in the 50s, and you'll be learning about a time where and events that aren't necessarily related to Epstein all of the way through. One of the events is for instance, a kind of like a murder mystery type thing, because very early on, Stan Pottinger's brother David Forbes Pottinger goes missing. He fakes his own disappearance and he traffics a girl across state lines, a minor across state lines for sex. So he did the same thing that Epstein would later do, and Stanley Pottinger stands on his doorstep and says, "No, these girls are liars who are saying that he did that." And then it turns out he did that. So there's loads of mini stories in there too. You'll go through the adventure of finding out everything about Stanley Pottinger through time, every single moment through his career. You'll learn the basis of events such as Watergate, the assassination of Martin Luther King, well, the cover up of it. You'll learn about Kent State Massacre. You'll learn about Orlando Letelier and his assassination. And you'll learn about how the CIA works with the Justice Department in a way to undermine American democracy. You'll learn about how instead of pushing really trying to find a peaceful arrangement at Wounded Knee, that Stan Pottinger and the Justice Department harassed people and took them to court, even though every court case was losing, and continued to do that over years because that's the only way they could use and win, and that's their tactics. You'll learn about how Pottinger ended up going off to work in private enterprise with representing Mead and Occidental as a lawyer, Mead against Occidental Petroleum as a lawyer, and Chemical Bank as well. You'll learn about Iran-Contra, and you'll learn about the October surprise, and you'll learn about all of the things that happened in between, such as Pottinger in 1990 buying a house on Palm Beach in 616 Island Drive, and it's 500 meters away from Jeffrey Epstein's house that he bought 2 months before. You'll learn that they lived 500 meters away from each other. You'll learn that they shared an office together. You'll learn that they ran arms in Iran-Contra, and they were a degree of separation between them. Then you'll go into the Epstein case and you'll start to understand what's really going on and what the case looks like. Because the last one's called the Potting Ultimatum for a reason. And that's really about the ultimatum that was put towards Jeffrey Epstein in 2005. He knew he was going down, and if he did not do anything, the consequence would be dire, and he would be in jail forever. What happened? He ended up having an open door jail sentence over the next 15 years for 12 months, and then he was free for the rest of the time. So he came out on top by co-opting the legal team and planning out right from the start. You'll learn about how that happened, and I hope to give people an understanding of really wild events, like how the opposition lawyer was meeting Jeffrey Epstein in a Starbucks in Boca Raton for 8 years previous. You'll learn about information that you don't even know could potentially be true. How could that be true? There's such a conflict of interest. Why would they allow it? You'll discover that the case is built by people who are all on the same side, and that side is about getting you down, about not giving you justice, about not giving you democracy. It's not about them. They've got all the wealth, they've got all of the power. It's about it taken away from you, and that's emblematic throughout this series. And there will be another episode eventually, a very important one, because this is part of the road to the takedown of Jeffrey Epstein. So we're going to get to the cell eventually.